There are many jokes about absent-minded professors. You may have wondered why professors are singled out. It's probably because people who have to intensely focus on something tend to be more forgetful in their daily life. But forgetfulness is not only for these types of people. You may be worried about your parents' old age and their forgetfulness. Recently, people in their 20s and 30s are also concerned about their memory. Regardless of age and occupation, many people complain about forgetfulness. Almost everyone has an experience forgetting the password for a website they visited in the past. Many believe smartphones and other digital devices make our absent-mindedness more severe. As most of the information we need is just one tap away, we don't try to memorize things, even our acquaintances' phone numbers. Experts say it's helpful to do something to stimulate your brain regularly. Reading books can help. Taking a trip and exposing yourself to a new environment can be a good way to stimulate your brain, too. Just like other health secrets, having a good night's sleep, exercising regularly, and not smoking and drinking are also important. In the information age, the amount of information we deal with has increased. We tend to forget as much as we have to remember. Let's not forget that managing forgetfulness is more important than trying not to forget anything. Forgetting things seems to be plaguing younger people. The root cause of this is the constant use and dependence on smartphones and technology. So first I said, forgetting things seems to be plaguing younger people. So the plague was the major sickness spread by rats in the Middle Ages, killed like 30% of the population. But we use it now as a verb if something bad is happening to a group of people. So for example, it's been raining a lot here in Korea. So Korea has been plagued by the rains, means it's just constantly bothering us and it's causing lots of problems. So kind of the forgetfulness, everyone's forgetting, so it's plaguing us. Then I said the root cause of this is the constant use and dependence on smartphones and technology. So the root cause of this means the main cause or the cause that's, it's kind of the original cause. So if, someone at work is not showing up late, they may make excuses like there was traffic or their alarm didn't go off, but the root cause was they were out drinking last night. So, that's kind of the origin cause of something. And then finally, I said the dependence on smartphones and technology. So if you have a dependence on something, that means you absolutely need it or you're addicted to it. So for example, we have a dependence on oil as a society, but you can also be dependent on your smartphone. So if you're picking it up and constantly looking on it, you're dependent on it. Also, people who cannot function without cigarettes or nicotine, they have a dependence on nicotine. There is an epidemic of forgetfulness now among the youth. Smartphones and digital devices are to blame. So I said there's an epidemic of forgetfulness. So usually when we talk about an epidemic, it could be a sickness like the coronavirus. However, it can also be something that is hurting a group of people. So since every young person can't remember anything, it's like an epidemic. Or in certain cities, it might be very dangerous. You could say there's an epidemic of crime. So we can use it for sickness, but also things that are causing harm to people outside of sickness. Letting things slip our mind is a part of life. However, if we worry too much, it will make our lives worse. So the first part I said, letting things slip our mind. If something slips your mind, you forget it or have forgotten something. So, if you're supposed to, remember someone's birthday and then you forget, you're like, oh, it slipped my mind. So if it's something slips your mind, means you forgot something specifically. Overthinking our forgetfulness will create more stress in our life. Losing our ability to remember things is part of growing older. So that last part I said, it's part of growing older. Part of growing older is just an expression we use when things start to kind of break down. So for example, if your eyesight is not as good, we'd say, hey, it's part of growing older. Or, your back starts to hurt. Hey, it's part of growing older. So part of growing older is an expression we use when things change in our life as we age. Instead of turning to your phone, our minds need to be activated by memorizing numbers, addresses, and other things we read. So I said instead of turning to your phone. So if you turn to something, it means you're choosing something to kind of satisfy an emotion or satisfy like a feeling. So if you're really depressed, you might turn to alcohol. You could turn to sugar. You could even turn to your friend to talk about it. But instead of turning to your phone means like, I'm bored. I should do this. Maybe you should read or start memorizing something. We need to put our phones down and make an effort to focus on remembering things we learn in our daily lives. So we need to put our phones down. So it doesn't necessarily mean to put your phone on the table or put it down physically. To put your phones down means to you choose not to use it. Or let's say you're having like a heated argument with someone online, or you're fighting with someone or texting. Put your phone down means just put it away. Don't use it. So when you put something down means you kind of stop using it because it's causing you distress or pain. Getting your 8 hours, physical activity, refraining from smoking, and curbing alcohol use are all important factors for your brain. So first I said getting your 8 hours. So 8 hours is the amount of sleep the human body needs to be healthy and to regenerate muscle and to think clearly. So we say 8 hours. So did you get your 8 hours last night? Or yes, I did. Or I did not get my 8 hours means I did not sleep enough. And then I also said curbing alcohol use. So we've talked about this in other podcasts. To curb something is to reduce or lessen. So you can still drink alcohol, but you should probably drink less of it. So curb your alcohol use. Getting sufficient sleep, working out, quitting smoking, and drinking in moderation are all useful tactics to help your brain retain its memory. All right, so I said drinking in moderation. So drinking in moderation means don't drink too much, but it means you also don't have to stop drinking. So usually moderate drinking is about 2 drinks or 3 drinks for men and about 1 to 2 drinks for women a day. That's drinking in moderation. And finally, I said these tactics will help your brain retain its memory. So to retain means to hold on or to keep, but you can also retain memories. But for example, if you eat a lot of salt, your body will retain water. So you can retain something physical, but also it could be untangible like a memory. Thanks for downloading, guys, and please check out the Konglish Killer book at all major bookstores and online. Bye-bye.